There is a proverb that says, to promise is honorable, but to keep is hard. But is promising really honorable? In a world full of deceit, making a promise often serves as a comforting illusion. We flatter ourselves with our good intentions and waste time promising rather than acting. Consider the parable of the two sons.
Matthew 21.
The father asks both to work. The first says no, but repents and goes. The second says, I will, sir, but does not go. The one who said yes is the dangerous one. His promise became a trap by promising. He tricked himself into feeling he had already done something good. He stood still in his good intention, which means he actually moved backward. The road from a broken promise back to the truth is long and arduous, whereas the road from a no to repentance is shorter. A promise is like a changeling, a fake child swapped for the real one by hostile spirits at the moment of birth, at the very moment you should begin the task of love. The urge to promise slips in and steals the energy of the action. Therefore, do not waste time promising. Love does not promise, it acts. When Paul says, love is the fulfilling of the law, he cuts off all further questioning. This is characteristic of Christ and the apostles. They do not engage in idle debates or satisfy curiosity. They give answers that imprison the questioner in a task. When a Pharisee asked, who is my neighbor, he wanted a definition he could argue about instead. Christ forced him to be a neighbor. The divine answer does not cater to our ingenuity. It binds us to obedience. If love is the fulfilling of the law, there is no time for a yes brother to stand around admiring his own feelings. Love is sheer action. It never dwells on itself. It is the immediate discharge of duty.
Christ did not come to abolish the law, but to fulfill it. The law was a requirement that ended in our despair. Christ is the requirement fulfilled. His life was one single, uninterrupted workday of love. He did not love only in great moments. His love was equally present when he wept, when he rebuked Peter, and when he died.
His love made no bargains and claimed no exemptions. He made no distinctions. He loved the disciple, the sinner, and the enemy equally because he loved them for their sake, not his own. He was the only person who ever lived who was not in debt to the law. The rest of us begin with an infinite debt to realize this is to become nothing before God, which is the only way to become something in truth.
The sketch and the masterpiece.
The law is like a sketch. Love is the finished artwork, a sketch. No matter how accurate, is always indefinite. It is a shadow, only the finished work is definite. The law contains infinite provisions. You can count commandments forever and never reach the sum. Love is the sum. The law starves you, it continually takes and requires. Love satisfies, it gives, yet there is no conflict between them. Love does not want to remove a single provision of the law. It wants to fill them all with reality. Here is the crucial difference between worldly love and Christian love.
Love is a relationship between men.
Love is a relationship between men. God must be the middle term. If God is left out, love becomes a mutually enchanting defradation. You do not truly love someone unless you help them love God. You are not truly loved by someone unless they help you love God. The world thinks love is an alliance where two people idolize each other. If a husband idolizes his wife and does everything she demands, the world calls it love. Christianity calls it self-love and idolatry. A person belongs first to God. You dare not belong to another person in a way that obscures your relationship with God.
Because the world ignores God, a terrible collision occurs between Christian love and worldly love. If you hold fast to the true conception of love, that God comes first, the world.
And perhaps even your beloved may hate you. They will call you cold or self-loving because you refuse to worship them. To the world, love means I give you what you want and you give me what I want. To the Christian, love means I will help you love God even if it makes you angry with me. Consider Christ, he is the prototype of unhappy love. He loved the disciples, yet he did not fulfill their dreams of earthly power. He led them into suffering, persecution, and death to the merely human understanding. This looks like deception or hate. Why did he gather us just to get us killed? But in the divine sense, this was the highest love.
For he loved them toward God and eternity. The world tries to define the Lord by consensus. This is a mutiny against God.
It is like a group of 7 criminals where each one says, it wasn't me, it was the others. When the whole human race does this, they create a phantom called the others, or the times, or society to hide behind. But the law is not decided by majority vote. Morality is not subject to a ballot to stop this mutiny. Each individual must get their orders directly from God. You cannot look at what the others are doing. You must look at God. This brings durability to existence, inwardness and continuance. The law of love makes 2 infinite requirements: inwardness.
You must be willing to sacrifice everything, including the joy of being understood. Worldly sacrifice hopes for admiration.
Look how much I gave up.
Christian sacrifice is willing to be scorned and hated for doing the good. It gives up the reward of approval, continuance.
You must maintain this intensity throughout your entire life. It is one thing to be heroic in a momentary crisis. It is another to be heroic while dragging through the slow, exhausting grind of years. The law requires that you keep the arrow flying with the speed of the shot, while simultaneously boring into the ground. It requires you to act with the urgency of a dying man while having a whole life to live. This requirement is impossible for us to calculate or fulfill perfectly. We are always in debt. The distance between us and the requirement is infinite. But the requirement stands. Love is the fulfilling of the law. We must not lower the standard to make ourselves feel better. We must strive toward it, admitting that we can never simply promise our way to perfection.
We must